Just the sort of place goblins love. Dark, dank, and foul. I can just picture this sword cleaving savage minotaurs. A pity it's dull beyond use now. His armor shone by the light of moons or sun. It's just too bad minotaurs are enraged by shiny objects. Imagine how many times this helm saved the heroic Phaelivon's head! Except that last time, obviously. The armor, helm, and sword are all badly damaged. Skeptics might say these could have belonged to anybody. We need to find Phaelivon's Horn of Magnificence to settle the question for good. But where is the horn? Why isn't it here? Phaelivon's Horn of Magnificence was his greatest treasure. My grandmother told me he made it from the horn of a Minotaur lord. It had a brass cap inscribed with an intricate design. When Phaelivon blew it, echoes rang from the hills for 7 days. I am. Mostly. But yes, I have a personal stake in this. Phaelivon is a distant ancestor. I grew up on stories of his battles, his magic horn. Oh, could this be about the horn? Grandmother told me the horn's note drove minotaurs mad with fear and rage. But sometimes the horn called minotaurs to battle even when no one sounded it. Maybe the minotaurs are here because of the Horn of Magnificence. Oh, I wondered about that too. House Vero mostly died out long ago, but they were certainly real enough. We can trace a relationship to Phaelivon's line on my mother's side. There is truth to my grandmother's tales. I'm certain of it. No. No one outside my family remembers Phaelivon. Almost all of the histories that record... These relics? Oh, I wondered about that too. No. No one outside my family remembers Phaelivon. Almost all of the histories that recorded his deeds have been lost. Even his mausoleum vanished. But now I'm close to the proof that Phaelivon really existed, and was a great hero. I'm sure I heard the horn in this chamber. But who sounded it? Horn! Just as the stories described it. Did this goblin sound the note we heard? It looks like we can get out through here, if you don't mind getting a little wet. Finally, proof of Phaelivon's legend. I'll be the talk of Gideon once I bring these trophies home. And yet, I wonder, did the goblins here cause their own troubles by meddling with Phaelivon's horn? Or is it dangerous to just keep around? I want to take them back to Gideon and prove, once and for all, that my family's story is true. Fame, fortune, festivities await! But if these relics, especially the Horn of Magnificence, are dangerous, perhaps I shouldn't bring them home. You're right. Phaelivon's magnificence deserves to be remembered far and wide. I'll take these historical relics to Gideon and prove the truth of my family's old legends. Thank you for your encouragement. We may be bruised, battered, and wet, but these relics tell a magnificent story. Without your help, I'd never have learned about the fate of Phaelivon and the Horn. Thank you. Oh, I shouldn't forget your pay. Visit me in Gideon sometime. I hope to see you again sometime. Although I must confess, now that I've finally found evidence supporting the legend of Phaelivon, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do next. Don't worry about me. I shall set out at once. And I shall neither fear, fret, nor flinch from any dangers on my road. After all, I share the bloodline of a great hero. A few generations removed, anyway.
have my word. If the Counselor is in Leowin or the surrounding countryside, the Ivory Brigade will find her.
The trick to cinches is... You know, the crest of Leowin is a rampant steed. Puts a lot of pressure on a stable master like me. But I think I'm doing all right. You'll see more than horses come through here, and I take care of them all. Of course, the steed's only as strong as its rider. How are you in the saddle? You'll see more than horses come through here, and I take care of them all. Of course, the steed's only as strong as its rider. How are you? You know, the crest of Leowin is a rampant steed. Puts a lot of pressure.
Not now, citizen. Can't you see I have my hands full at the moment? I'm sure a guard or one of my brigadines can assist you. Why didn't you say so? Leowin's problems are legion, and now the Wood Elf Archer's predictions seem to be coming true. Damn these old Imperial secrets. Counselor Jirik has disappeared, and the Ivory Brigade is already spread too thin for my liking. The Wood Elf, Everly Sharparrow. She brought news that the Dark Brotherhood was targeting members of the Elder Council, all because of some secret of the Longhouse Emperors. We took her warning seriously, but Jirik refused Brigadine protection. With that guild of assassins, I'm not sure what to think. But Jirik is missing, and I don't have enough Brigadines at the ready to conduct the proper search. You look capable. So, care to earn some gold and help us determine the Counselor's fate? Here, let me update your map. These are places Jirik visits during her daily routine. If something befell her, it happened somewhere along this path. Meanwhile, I have Everly Sharparrow checking locations in the city. She was very eager to help. Counselor Jirik was a member of the Imperial Elder Council, back when we still had an empire. Now her title is mostly ceremonial, but she continues to assist the legates by serving as an intermediary with the local nobility. Since the collapse of the Empire and the dissolution of the Elder Council, Leowin has become an independent city-state. Countess Caro sits on the throne, but the Chamber of Legates governs the city. I suppose the Countess is technically the highest authority in Leowin, but she leaves the administration of the city to the Chamber of Legates. Leviticus, another former council elder, leads this august body, along with Tebeziko and Amhalu. Counselor Jirik is a creature of habit. Her daily routine is to stroll along the river and stop to read near a cave across the way. While Everly Sharparrow examines spots the Counselor frequents in the city, you should check these locations. Interesting. She arrived a short time ago with a tale straight out of a mystery novel. She said that Emperor Leovik's former steward had been murdered by the Dark Brotherhood, killed over some secret pertaining to the Longhouse Emperors. Ah, then you must be the associate she was waiting for. She'll be glad to hear that you've arrived. Everly presented her evidence to Counselor Leviticus, that the members of the Elder Council were in danger. He decided the threat was credible. Counselor Leviticus has kept her close, while the two of them try to make sense of this so-called secret. I have yet to be made privy to the details. With Jirik's disappearance, I'll send Everly to check places the Counselor frequents in the city. On paper, Countess Caro rules Leowin, but in practice, the Chamber of Legates governs the city. Legates Tebeziko and Amhalu, and Counselor Leviticus. They handle day-to-day tasks. Me? I'm commander of the Ivory Brigade, Leowin's militia. Indeed. Since the fall of the Empire, the Ivory Brigade had to redouble its efforts to replace the Imperial legions. We maintain active defenses in the north to keep the ongoing war at bay, but we have our hands full with refugees, bandits, and such. The Three Banners War. Let the alliances fight over the Ruby Throne as long as they leave us in peace. I just wish I had more soldiers to spare for this new threat that Everly Sharparrow brought to our attention. Interesting. She apparently has been investigating this so-called Longhouse Emperor secret for a while now. She approached Councilor Leviticus with news of the murder, and evidence to suggest the rest of the Elder Council were in danger.
Captain, are you really trusting the fate of Councillor Jirrick to this outsider?
Oh, why didn't Councilor Jirrick heed your warnings?
If the Ivory Brigade requires mercenaries to do their job, perhaps Leowyn needs different protectors.
Counselor Jirik? Oh, pardon me. You're not the counselor. Apologies. I heard you stumbling about and thought it might be Counselor Jirik. Oh, no one important, I assure you. I'm simply one of the counselor's aides. I help her with paperwork mostly. Run errands, that sort of thing. She initially refused the captain's offer, but she received a letter that made her uneasy. Last I saw, she was headed back to the city by way of the Eastern Gate. But she never returned to her manor, so I came to look for her. Please, find her.
Anyone, help me! I refused to believe, but Farrell, Leviticus, they were right. I was attacked. An assassin. You must warn the others, the counselors. Leofic's secret, it will be the death of us all!
Counselor Jirik! Damn, we're too late! Damn it. Looks like we were both too late. It's just like I expected when we found that list with all the counselors' names on it. I hate being right when somebody dies. Glad to see you made it here, by the way. Did you happen to see who killed her? The mark of the Dark Brotherhood, just like Farrell Lupus. Remember I said I was going to find Leviticus? Well, I did. And turns out, he's the head of the city's Chamber of Legates. I just wish another person hadn't died because of this damn secret. The secret of the Longhouse Emperors. It has something to do with the 4 ambitions of Mehrunes Dagon. I think they're Daedric weapons, but that's all we know so far. Remember, I was working for Farrell Lupus. He sent me to find that strange tome. Right. And we found that list with all the counselors' names on it. Farrell's too. The one that suggested they all knew something about the ambitions. Since Farrell was murdered, I figured the others were in danger too. Looks like I was right. Let me have your map. This is where Counselors Valeria and Sophis were last time I checked. Go warn them. Convince them the threat is real. Then meet me at Counselor Jirik's manor in the city. Maybe we can find something more about this secret. I'll get the city guards to come and gather the Counselor's body. She shouldn't just be left out here. Then I'll head to Counselor Jirik's manor. When you're done checking on Counselor Valeria and Counselor Sophis, meet me there. So Farrell Lupus hired me to retrieve a book from a retreat once used by the Longhouse Emperors. He never told me what it was, and he died before I could ask. The book is weird. It has weird pages and weird markings, and I can't read a word of it. Not much. Farrell's partner said he planned to use it to make things right, but she didn't know how. And it's Daedric, I think. I will say, carrying it's kind of a burden. And I've been having strange dreams. But I don't want to talk about that. Oh, I'm still trying to make a name for myself. I was green as a blade of grass when we met in Orsinium. Now I've got a few more adventures under my belt. But I've never dealt with anything quite like this. This is more than I bargained for. I'll get the city guards to come and gather the council. Like I said, it all started when I found that strange tome for Farrell Lupus, and Emperor Leovic's journal. It was in code, but I got it translated. Sent me to a few hidden Imperial caches where I learned that the Longhouse Emperors had a secret. Right, but it turned out I wasn't the only one trying to learn more about the ambitions.
A group of cracked acorns called the Order of the Waking Flame. Fanatic Mehrunes Dagon cultists. Had to put arrows in more than one of those bastards. I guess someone hired them to eliminate everyone who knows about the secret. The question is, who? And I was told by a more or less friendly Dremora named Lyrinth that the fate of our world was at stake. So of course I want to figure this all out.